OnlyFans. If you haven't heard of OnlyFans, you're living under a rock. I'm sorry, but this platform has become a dystopia. I was gonna say utopia. It's not a utopia. It's a dystopia of sexually addicted fiends that burn their money so that way women can feel false validation. Originally, though, OnlyFans was a network for creators to make personal content. And not the kind of like sexual content, not any of that. It was more of like exclusive videos, members only perks, so like custom emotes in chat or like behind the scenes kind of stuff. Like nothing like porn related. However, whenever COVID came around, excuse me, when COVID came around, it turned into a porn mayhem. And it's become now this icon, this false icon of any woman can do this and make a shit ton of money off of it. And that's not okay. Because unfortunately, OnlyFans is seen as empowering. What exactly is it empowering? Well, let's take a look. Let's see what Google has to say. Financial independence and control. Creators set prices, control content, and directly profit from their work, offering an alternative to traditional exploitation and pornography. I wouldn't word it that way, but yes, they do allow their own prices to be set. They control the content and directly profit from their work. I think OnlyFans only takes I'd imagine like a 5%, 10% cut, because, I mean, I'd take a cut too if I was a company, but either way, financial independence and control, which is really good. I really do think that women having that financial independence like that and that out to be able to make their own money in a relatively easy way is good, but it shouldn't be prostitution, because we've already outlawed prostitution. Let me see whenever prostitution was outlawed really quick. Huh. 1910 and 1915 was whenever prostitution was made illegal. Oh, well, I'm sorry. It wasn't made illegal at one single time. It became criminalized gradually with a major shift in the U.S. between 1910 and 15. Driven by moral reform and anti-trafficking efforts like the Mann Act of 1910. While some local bans existed earlier, this period saw most of the U.S. enact laws against brothels or prostitution itself. Although it remained tolerated in some areas and its legality varies globally, with some places legalizing it or decriminalizing it. Legalizing it or decriminalizing aspects. So prostitution has been illegal in the US for more than 100 years, and all of a sudden, now that we have the online age, people think it's okay to go do it again. No. It's not okay. And I really do think that OnlyFans is destroying modern femininity and taking modern masculinity along with that, but that's a topic for another day. Another argument for empowerment is agency and autonomy. It allows individuals, especially women, to do their own sexuality boundaries, or to set their own sexuality boundaries, and build businesses off their identity, fostering entrepreneurial spirit. Okay, I could see entrepreneurial spirit. It could be really good for women to learn how to manage, like, posting ads about a local business, I guess if you want to call it a business. It could help them learn how to manage money, probably invest it, and giving them that opportunity to do so. But again, it's sex work. Everybody frowns on sex work, except the gooners. But it's not great. Improve conditions. For those in sex work, it could be safer, less stigmatized way to earn income. No, that's bull. It is not less stigmatized. There are many thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of people that make fun of OnlyFans because it is gross. It's gross to sell yourself online like that. It is gross to go out and be like, yeah, I'm an OnlyFans creator. Look at all these gooners who gave me a private jet. No. That's not okay. That's not only destroying men, but it's taking women with it. And again, that's a topic for another day. But all in all, it is empowering prostitution, essentially. That is the biggest thing. And 1.2 million women do OnlyFans. That is an insane statistic. Not only that, but 30% of those women are Gen Z. What? Let's take out the calc real quick. Let's see what 1.2 million divided by times 0.3 is. 1 2 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, we got that. Times 0.3. That's 360,000 Gen Z women do OnlyFans. 360,000. Modern femininity is in the shitter. Modern masculinity is in the shitter. And it is because of the rise of porn and OnlyFans in my generation. But again, that's probably going to be the next topic I talk about next week. But I digress. It's a source of income. Okay, it can be. But is it really worth it? Is it really worth selling yourself? Well, let's take a look at some of the statistics that we have, okay? We got the ones that do a side hustle. Which you earn about $100 to $1,000 to a band monthly. Okay, that's not bad. Have some side cash. Take your girls out on a girls trip. That's not bad. Part-time, $1,000 to $10,000. Wow, that is quite the jump. One band to 10? You know what you could get with 10 bands, all paid from Gooner money? And that's only part-time. Those two make up 75% of OnlyFans creators. Which, whenever you put it into the statistic of 360,000, or not 360,000, I apologize, 1.2 million women, that's about, give or take, we got a calculator right here. Let's see real quick. 1,200,000 1.2 million times 0.75. That's 900,000. 900,000 women make at most $10,000 monthly. Which, granted, isn't very bad. That's about, let's say you get a bi-weekly paycheck. That's about $5,000 a paycheck. That is very possible to live off of. Now for the full-time creators, such as Sophie Rain, I don't really know any other famous creators. I don't really look at that kind of stuff. She's just known because of something I'll bring on later in the video. But creators like her make an easy six-figure salary. Are you kidding me? The only reason this is seen as empowering is because Gooners allow these quote-unquote bops to make six figures? I mean, granted, 6 figures is 6 figures, but whenever you're doing it in sex work, that will destroy your life forever. Not to mention, it might destroy your kids. Let's say you want to have kids in the future. Everything you put out on the internet stays there. It's not going to go away. And if some kid at your kid's school finds that, your kid is going to be the target of bullying forever. He's going to be like, oh, look at little Billy. His mom was a prostitute. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That is downright cruel. All because you wanted to make an easy 6 figures. But I'll get into my last point, is that it creates communities. What communities? What kind of community is it creating? Well, it's creating a, first of all, false community. You don't even interact with the other people. And this is based on my own research that I did, where I had to subscribe to some of these girls. That shit was gross. I have never been more grossed out in my entire life until I subscribed to those girls. I couldn't even last like 2 days. I had to cancel it because it was like, I can't do this research anymore. But you don't talk to anybody else unless you're subscribed to them and you know the other person in person. and you talk about the one creator. But it creates a false community, and it creates lustful degenerates. Like, come on. You can't have these, like, 15, 16-year-olds out there doing God knows what, and then come back and these girls are, like, shaking their ass on Instagram, shaking their tits on Instagram for a bunch of likes and a bunch of clicks with a link. Who knows? That could be a little 11-year-old Timmy. He's on Instagram, he sees that, he's like, whoo! Neuron activation. He accidentally clicks the link, and he's exposed to something he shouldn't be exposed to. It's gross. It's disgusting. And it's crazy. It's crazy that these women think that it's okay to do this, to push it. And I'm not saying that they intentionally push it on these kids. Obviously, they're not doing that. However, you should be aware of the fact that on Instagram and on TikTok, there are gonna be kids on there. And if this kid accidentally gets recommended something by the algorithm, whoop-de-doo, hey mommy, why is this girl shaking her ass on the camera? That's quite an uncomfortable conversation. Imagine having that conversation with your kid. It would destroy you. He shouldn't be 11 years old and being like, yeah, look at this girl's fat ass. I'm sorry. I understand that they're brain rotted, but I don't think Tung 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 Sahur is shaking his ass in front of the camera. Anyway. Bottom line, OnlyFans is a plague to this community, the world, and Gen Z. It's a plague. It's worse than the Black Plague. It's worse than COVID because it gives into the sin of lust. But that's all I got for today. I'm glad I was able to shine light on this for you. But anyway, OnlyFans is bad. Reject lust. Turn to God. Good night.